Hey guys, layout update time. Hey, I think I have finally settled in on the track plan for the new expansion here. And this is it right here. I know, some people are going to get disappointed, some people are going to be all good with it. That's the way it goes from the comments there. Anyway, it's somewhat similar to what we have going on in the other section of the layout down here, but we're going to talk about that a little bit and why that is, but it's a little bit different here. It's different enough, let's put it that way. And so, yeah, let's take a quick peek out here. The track that I've got laid down over here in the tape is pretty much what it's going to be, but we're going to make a few adjustments here. We're gonna bring the track and the runaround out here up a little bit, so we're gonna add a little bit more bench work right here, kind of similar to what I did over on the other end. So also the track back there is gonna get pushed out a little bit closer to the backboard right there. So basically we're freeing up more space inside of the in between is what I'm getting at over there. So. And as you can see here, I've kind of started sort of mocking it up a little bit with buildings and things like that. Now, let's talk about industries here and all the different considerations that I've had to do trying to figure out what sort of a track plan to come up here, because some people like the very simple one that I had before. Some people were saying do something totally different. And, you know, all sorts of things in between. But, you know, I had to kind of go back and really rethink my philosophy for the layout here and kind of go back to sort of the core values here. And so this is a switching layout, and it's all about switching. So that kind of constrains me, or at least focuses, let's put it that way, focuses the layout on what we're going to want to do. We want to have car spots. You know, I always talk about Lance Minheim's sort of books and his sort of ideals on a switching layout and things like that. And one of the things that he talks about is having, you know, industries with multiple car spots, and the amount of car spots directly dictates how much switching opportunities you can have. And so that's why in the other parts of my layout I've had, you know, all sorts of different industries and trying to kind of pack them in there, and then you know, working through like some of the compression and trying to figure out you know, we could have a single track running down here with some industries here and there, right? But that kind of limits us with the amount of car spots that we have. And that's kind of why I have flats in the background. They're pretty basic industries. It's just a spur where, you know, we call it an industry of some sort, and cars get dropped off back there. But it adds to the whole idea of switching, right? And then we've got a couple of, you know, larger industries. You know, think of it like your shopping mall. You know, you've got your little tiny stores and whatnot, and that you know, that are just all over the place. Those are the guys in the background. That's our little flats there. They're just pretty generic. You know, it's a flat. We call it whatever, and you know, we drop cars off and switch things out there. But then you've got the larger industries over here towards the front of the layout. And there may be one or two or three, depending on, you know, how much room you've got. And those are the ones that are more detailed. They're not just a flat. There's something to them. Even though on my layout, a lot of the different locations, we can take a look over here, are pretty simple, right? There's not a lot of buildings in the area. You know, this is one of my major industries here on this side here. Royal Plywood, another major industry. There's not a lot here. One little goofy looking box and a bunch of paved stuff with some plywood. And then over on this end, SoCal Edison takes up like 2/3 of this entire thing, and all it is a paved area with the switchback in it. But it's a major industry. And same thing over here with my lumber facility. It's a track in, there's not even a building or anything for it, because we're assuming that the rest of the facility is off layout here. And that's also another consideration that I had to take into account. I make YouTube videos, right? I have to take into account, how am I going to film things on the actual layout? What's it going to look like? Where can I place the camera? You know, that's sort of the consideration I have. So, you know, that's kind of why I don't have a lot of buildings and stuff like that that block the view back there to some of those minor industries here and so forth. So that's another thing that I'm thinking about. And again, going back to the whole, how many industries can we fit on here? Well, like I said, the more car spots you have, the more opportunity you have for switching. And that's what this layout is about. It's about switching. It's not about running through scenes, you know, through tunnels, over bridges, watching a big, huge train go by. That's not what this is about. This is about switching, and we need to have industries over here. So the way I have it currently configured has five, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 5 industries, possibly even 6 if we really wanted to. But you know, that's quite a bit of industries. That's 3 flats in the background with their own spur. So going back there, so that's 3 industries. And then we've got their FXI materials is going to be one of our major industries. This could be a future industry, but right now I have it labeled as just scenery only kind of buildings right there. Again, because I kind of want to make this stand out a little bit more than I did, you know, or I want it to stand out or be different than what I've already done in the past, even though the track arrangement may be somewhat similar, okay? And then we have Westpac, which is going to be one of our other large industries over here. So basically 2 sort of anchor industries, you know, those stores in the mall, the big ones, I don't know what, Macy's, you know, kind of those big corner stores that or not corner, but end stores in a mall. That's what the big industries are, all right? And all those little flats back there are just little generic stores, you know, Build-A-Bear, whatever. Anyway, let's take a look at some, well, let's say we take a look at the plan over here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it around so it's oriented the correct way here, kind of like what we're looking at here. So you can see one of the changes I did there was that I did take the runaround towards the fascia there and kind of bumped it out, similar to what we've done before. And so all the track along the fascia there kind of comes spreading a little bit closer to the edge right there. So that gives us more room on the interior. And then, like I said, after doing a few measurements and stuff like that, the track in the background there will get pushed back a little bit towards the backboard. So that, again, gives us a little bit more room. So, and we've kind of reviewed the major industries right here, right? Is it FXI chemicals, or it's actually FXI materials or something, I can't remember. And let's take a little closer look here. So I went on Google Street View and I took a look at the actual industry, and you can see what they got over here. Well, actually take a look at this one here. So you can see there's the rail going back into the background there. And it's a big warehouse kind of looking place. There's lots of pine trees and palm trees and things like that all around there. But down there, right there on the side, which is what's going to be right here, they get tank cars of all sorts. They make all sorts of, I don't know, I'd have to look. I think the last time I looked, they make like extruded foam type of things, stuff that goes into mattresses, that sort of stuff. But I'll get more details on that. What we care about is it's got tank cars, and who doesn't like tank cars right there? Now, I'm kind of flipping this around because if you take a look at that, the tank cars are sort of on the right side of the building, but we're going to have them on the left side over here again because I have to take into consideration I'm doing YouTube videos. I got to film stuff, you know, and it's kind of hard to film stuff back there, right? So that's just another consideration that I had to take into account here. Also, we've got 3 streets through here. The location that I'm modeling over here, the Tustin Industrial Lead over there in Orange, California. It's pretty industrial, as you can tell from some of the photos here. So that's FXI right there. And then there's a lot of little streets. They're not big streets. There's sort of kind of small streets that wind around in between all of the sort of generic looking industrial buildings. And that's why we've got one street over here, one street over there that's going to be a curved street. I'm kind of put the wood on there to sort of symbolize the street, and then another one way back there. Now, in the center over here, this could be a future industry coming off of the backside, maybe, and coming off of that runaround and coming in here kind of thing. But right now, it's just some of those generic buildings right here, and they're not going to be blocking any of the major industries. Because the only thing back behind it will be a flat, and plenty of room here, as you can tell, between the two different industries and the other buildings of the other industries. So really easy to film and things like that. You can see I got a package of palm trees in the mail the other day, so I got to spray those up and probably get some more. And then we've got our street here. Let's talk about the other industry that I decided to kind of be one of my anchor industries here, and that's Westpac. And it's just a really cool industry. They get hopper cars. I don't even know what the heck they do, but they get hopper cars, and as you can tell, they've got little towers with silos, and they got conveyor belts going across the top of the tracks and everything, and that is what we're going to be modeling right here. This is actually the main line that you see coming up here. The main line kind of goes in between different sections of the industry. Well, we couldn't really do that. Trust me, I tried. But we're kind of modeling the look and feel of it. Again, kind of proto-freelance here. We're going to do the best we can. We're going to make it look and feel like the location. And when you look at it, you'll be like, if you were familiar with it, you'd be like, wow, that looks just like Westpac. That's what I'm going for. I'm not going for inch for inch, rivet counter, perfect, duplicate of the industry. But you can see I've got some boxes here, train boxes, car boxes. They roughly are about 4 inches top to bottom. So that's about roughly what the scale buildings are. So we're going to get our hopper cars in here. There'll be stuff over here, towers, all that good stuff, conveyor belt going across to here, all that kind of stuff. And then finally, another street, and one of the really cool looking street scenes here. This isn't going to be an industry. We're not going to have an industry over here, but it's going to be a building. And this is actually, just focus there. It's just the neatest looking thing. It is where the line comes around a curve back from behind that building, and then comes into the rest of the area here. But I really wanted to model that in this building. It doesn't really show up that good on this printed thing, but it's like blue and tan and everything. It's got some stairways right there, and all sorts of good stuff we can kind of model. And that really is going to be sort of right there, that side, or we'll kind of figure this out so it looks halfway decent, and we can get a good, get off of their palm tree, we can get a good kind of, that's what we're going to be looking at over here, right about in that location. So that's what I'm going for over there. All right, whew. Let's see, what else can I talk about here? I think that's it. So I got to kind of get back to work here and pull all this tape off and all that, and I kind of got to, like I said, I got to get my little kink out over here. Probably going to add about 2 inches, maybe 3 inches, we'll see. I kind of want to have really more room in there, so if I add 3 more inches right here, and it's really just to go around the runaround here, so I guess I'll just add enough to get the runaround off the layout and get the main line here pretty close to the edge, right? So yeah, that's about it. I think that's it for now, and I will see you in the next update. And hopefully, actually, after I get this done, I may take a little break and just do some operations. We'll get back to running some trains here because the guys are all getting bored over here. They're standing around, they're kicking over the garbage can over here. They're like, there's nothing to do. All right, guys, till next time, take care. Bye.